Hi everyone. In this quick 10 minutes tutorial, I will help you understand how you can create automated folders and subfolders for managing your external files from any Salesforce object like an account. I will tell you how you can associate these folders to any object and then how you can access these folders within your Salesforce. So I'll first start by showing you how the automation looks in action, and then I will quickly run through all the steps and how you can achieve this in under 10 minutes. So let's get started.
I have already created the flows that will create automated folders and subfolders whenever a new account is created. Let me show you how it works in action. So I will create a new account and I'll save it. Ideally, what should happen is in this file tabs, you should be able to see the subfolders which are created for this particular account. I have created two subfolders, which is contracts and proposals, which should be attached to this account. I'll give it a moment to load. As you can see, we have two subfolders, contracts and proposals. Here you can start uploading your files and other documents. So let's see how you can create this in under 10 minutes. Before we get into the detailed step of this tutorial, please make sure that you fulfill these two important prerequisites. First is make sure that you have installed CloudFiles in your Salesforce. It's an easy one-step process. You just need to go to Salesforce App Exchange and search for CloudFiles listing. Over here you can get an option to get it now. Simply click on this and you will be able to install CloudFiles in your Salesforce. Next step is to connect your cloud storage to Salesforce using CloudFiles. In order to do so, click on the 9 dots here, search for CloudFiles. In the setup tab, go to libraries. Here you will be able to see all your libraries. If I want to connect my SharePoint, I will simply click on this plus icon. So it's added to the libraries section and I will now configure it to log into my account. That's it, done. That's all you need to do to get started with the steps. Our first step is creating account folder using create folder flow action. You can create it for any other standard Salesforce object as well. For this tutorial, I will be doing it for the account object. In order to do so, we will create a standard record trigger Salesforce flow. In order to do so, we'll go to settings, search for setup. Here we will search for flows and we'll go for a new flow. We'll select record triggered flow. We'll be selecting account as object. Trigger is when the record is created. Always make sure that you are running it in an asynchronous path. And that's it. Save. Name the flow. So we'll start adding the elements. We'll first search for CloudFiles create folder and we'll label it create account folder. It will ask you to input bunch of parameters and I will tell you how to do it. Drive ID is basically the ID of the drive where you would like to store your account folder in your desired cloud storage. You can get this data along with the parent folder ID in the CloudFiles library. In order to do so, we'll go to Salesforce and we'll go to App Launcher and search for CloudFiles. And we'll go to Content Library. As my SharePoint is already connected, I can see the content of my SharePoint drive. This is basically the drive where I want to save my automated folders. You can either go for creation of a new folder or you can select an existing folder where you would like to save your new files and folders. Suppose I want to use this folder as my destination folder, I will simply click on this drop down icon and I will go to view metadata. Here I can see the drive ID, library, folder ID and all the details. I will simply click here to copy the detail and I will enter the value over here. Library, I can just name it SharePoint because I'm storing my files in SharePoint. Parent folder ID is basically the ID that of the folder where you would like to store your new folders. This as well you can find in the metadata. You can get it over here. I will simply copy it once again and paste it over here. Folder name is something you can customize as per your wish. Suppose I want to name the folder as per the account name. I can go to account and search for name. So that's how I would like to save my folder as, and I'll just simply click on done, save, and I will activate the flow. Create subfolders within your parent folder using the same create folder flow action. You can do so by again selecting create folder flow action. Let me name it to proposals because I want to store the proposals in this subfolder. So it will ask you to again input bunch of parameters. Drive ID and library will be same as before. SharePoint and drive ID, I will again copy it from the metadata. Now folder name is something that you can put as per your requirement. I will put it proposals because I'll be storing proposals over here. Parent folder ID is basically the return value that we will be using from the parent folder create flow action. So in order to do so, I'll click over here and I'll use the outputs from create account folder flow action, and I will use the resource ID. Done. I will save it and I will activate it. Once you have created desired number of folders and subfolders, we will now associate these folders to the account object. In order to do so, we'll be using the create attachment flow action. We will name the flow. It will again ask you a bunch of parameters for input. Drive ID will be same as the ones that we have used in the previous flow action. I will paste it once again. Library will be SharePoint. Resource ID is basically the resource ID that we get from the output of the create account folder, our parent folder. Resource type is folder, and Salesforce record ID is basically your record ID. That's it. Save and activate the flow. Now that we have created all the flows that is required to automate folders, we will learn how to add CloudFiles widget to your account record so that you can access these folders within your Salesforce. In order to do so, go to any of your account, go to settings and search for edit page. It may take a moment to load. Once it is loaded, your Lightning app builder will open up. So we would like to add the tab over here. So we will simply click here, and on the right side of the page, you will be able to see the tabs. So we'll proceed to add a tab. We would like to rename the tab. You can name it anything. You simply need to go to tab label, select custom, and label, you can name it anything. I would like to name it files, and that's it. Save. We will now go to the newly created tab, and on the left side you need to locate or search CloudFiles and simply drag it over here. Once this is done, you simply need to save it and exit your Lightning app builder. I am able to see the new tab over here, which is named as files. In case you're not able to see the tab immediately, don't worry, you can refresh the page and wait for the tab to appear. Here I can see my parent folder, I can see my subfolders, and I can do all the operations that I would like to do with my newly created folders. So that's it. That's all you need to know to get started with automated folders in Salesforce. Thank you so much.